So we're going to get to our quarterback list in a couple minutes here. 7 or 8 of my guys have either the head coach calls the plays or I really believe in the play caller. So it's like easy to believe the quarterback's going to keep playing at that level because you just know what you're going to get. I don't know. I mean, you could tell me right now that Kellen Moore is the offensive assistant of the year next year and Hurts is an MVP candidate. I could also see Moore struggling to kind of incorporate his stuff with Sirianni, and it's awkward. I mean, I don't know right now. We'll see when we get there. Matthew is in Deptford. Hey, Matthew.
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, Matthew? What are you feeling?
Listen, I agree with everything Chris Sims says, except for, is he the most overrated player? No, but he definitely is overrated. And let me cook for a little bit. Now, last year, we all realized that the Eagles had a ridiculously easy schedule, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they went to the playoffs, and we got fortunate. We played Daniel Jones. Let's face it, Daniel Jones and the Giants, they stink. And then we played San Fran, and we knocked their quarterback out early. So, okay, we got through pretty easily. And then we got to the Chiefs game, and he played a great game. Hurts played a great game, right? But my whole thing was I got to see it again. And we were so quick after that 1 year to say, oh, he's right behind Mahomes. Who would you rather have other than Mahomes than Hurts? And I was like, dude, we got to see him do it again against a stiffer schedule. Now, this year we come into it, and like Chris Sims said, he still got A.J. Brown. He still got A.J. Smitty. He still got Goddard. And he still got one of the top 3 offensive lines. No other quarterback in this league has all of that. And he struggled. 23 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. You could take the top 10 to 15 quarterbacks in this league, and they would have better numbers on this team than Hurts. I really believe that. And so I'm not sold on Hurts all the way yet. It's just so many. Then we got to the playoff game. Howard said it. They drilled him all week on how to pick up the blitz. He didn't do it. And it got so bad, I never even saw this until y'all mentioned it. It got so bad, Goddard giving him the middle finger on the line, on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't believe in him yet all the way. So, yeah, he's overrated.
Well, and we were sold off the 1 year. And you look at he's got 3 years as a starter, Matthew. 2 of them are pretty good or decent, whatever you want to frame him as. One of them's great. I mean, that right now, that's the outlier for Jalen Hurts. That's the one that doesn't fit the rest.
Can I ask both of y'all, how about what if the outlier is the offensive coordinator and him knowing how to get the best out of Jalen Hurts?
But aren't we in a bad situation then if we're always relying on a coordinator?
Well, no, I don't think so.
But what if Kellen Moore stinks?
No, I don't think so, because I think the coordinator's job is to get the best out of the athlete and try to put him in a position to help him be successful. So no, I don't think that's the case.
But my point is, with some other teams, you don't worry about the coordinator because the coach calls the plays. Are you worried about I don't even know who the coordinator is of the offense for the 49ers because Kyle Shanahan's the offense.
Yeah.
We don't have that here, so we're relying on like whoever they pick to be the coordinator. That's a tough life.
Well, I feel like whomever, like I think Kellen Moore, and the reason why they picked Kellen Moore, because everything you're saying is valid, no question about that. It's valid. But I think that we are looking at this in the wrong spectrum, because I think Jalen Hurts thrived with an individual that knew him well enough to know where his strengths and his weaknesses lie.
But Shane Steichen's not coming back.
No, he's not. That's why I'm saying Kellen Moore has to be that guy. And I think that I was fooled. The wool was pulled on my eyes with Brian Johnson. I thought he was that guy, and obviously he wasn't. My fault, Matthew. I'll let you cook.
No. Here's my last point, and here's the most damning thing that we heard last year. Remember when Nick Bosa said we got the blueprint to beat the Eagles?
Yep.
Yes.
And he said they wanted to take away Jalen's rush lanes and make him play quarterback. In other words, make him throw the ball. What other top QB do you want to make them throw the ball? None. And that is damning. And guess what happened? We lost 6 out of the last 7 games. And hey, you got to look at Nick Bosa and say, I guess he was right. They had the blueprint.
Well, I think he was. Yeah, and Matthew, good phone call. So my fear with that is, like, can Jalen overcome that potentially? Right, he could grow,
and he has,
and I think he's grown from the pocket at times. But the issue is, if that's what the blueprint is in the NFL, and his legs leave him, which they're probably gonna, right? Most running quarterbacks slow down as time goes on. I don't know if that's yet, but at some point, Jalen's not gonna run as much. It's just the reality of it. Well, what does he do when his legs go? If teams want him to throw, and one day, maybe it's now, maybe it's 3 years from now, he can't run as effectively. You know, I don't know. Yeah,
I will say this though. I feel like we're looking at this in a vacuum for the most part, because there were times before that San Francisco game where Jalen did decipher defenses and he did pick them apart and he did pick up the blitzes. It just got progressively worse as the linebackers we played against got better. So I don't know if I'm sold on it like everybody else is, because I saw early on in the season him making good decisions from the pocket. So I believe in him in that aspect. He just needs to be coached up to the point where he can see the blitz and he's not worried about the rush like Nick Bosa said before.
Well, and if it's a flaw of his game that we've seen since the beginning. Now, he was a little bit better at it. I just felt like the whole offense in 2022 was efficient. It was quick. He made quick decisions. This year, it was not that way. 215-592-9400. All right, let's get to our quarterback list here. Our updated QB list as presently constituted. So last year, when we did our first list as a show, Hugh, I had Jalen Hurts as the third best quarterback in pro football. I had him number 3. I had him only behind Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. Here is my updated list. Hugh has his as well. And then Kyle could tell us what we got wrong here on our updated quarterback list. I'm going to go, and we could both go, until Jalen. Like, we'll just read them until we get to Jalen and stop there. Here's what I have.
Can I give you the caveat with my list, though?
What do you got?
Because I'm pretty sure, Joe, your list is going to be different than mine because you put every quarterback in it.
Of course, the best one.
I only put the young Thundercats on my
you're
list.
an ageist.
Yeah, a little bit. I got the young Thundercats on mine.
So I don't actually, the way I look at it now, I have one older quarterback.
Well, maybe I got one guy that's not considered a young Thundercat, but to me, he's a young Thundercat.
I've just got one. I tend to think younger players are better anyway. It's just, for the most part, unless you're Tom Brady, I don't want you on my list. But here we go. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. And in fact, if you tier these, it's just Mahomes is on his own tier, and then we just fix everyone. We go after that to everybody else. Mm-hmm. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes.
Agreed.
Number 2, I elevated this guy off this past year. I used to have him in like the 3 or 4 range, but he's been more durable than some other guys. I have Josh Allen at number 2.
Nope.
Josh Allen 2 for me. Number 3, and I didn't know what to do with him because another kind of injury-plagued year, but I still believe in Joe Burrow. I think he's a tremendous thrower of the football and a winning quarterback. I have him at number 3. So Mahomes, Allen, Burrow. Number 4, I don't know what to do with this guy. He's got 2 MVPs. He stinks in the playoffs. I can't knock how good he is, though, in the regular season, and that's Lamar Jackson. I have him as the 4th best quarterback. Number 5, you're not going to like this, Hugh, and no one's going to like it. The reality is he's good. I have Dak Prescott at number 5 off of the year he just had. Number 6, I didn't know what to do with him because he's older. But, boy, Matthew Stafford could still play. When his body allows him to be on the field, he could still play. Stafford at 6. Justin Herbert at 7. Tough year, injuries, talent is there, and I think he's got a good coach now. Number 8, Jordan Love. His second half of the season was outrageous. He looks like he could be an MVP candidate next year. Number 9, I have C.J. Stroud. Number 10, the most disrespected good quarterback in the NFL, Jared Goff. Guy's good. Guy's been good for years, and he was in the NFC Championship game this year. Number 11, I have Brock Purdy. Off a Super Bowl trip, Brock Purdy was far better this season than Jalen Hurts. And at number 12, I have Hurts. I have Hurts as the 12th best quarterback as we enter the offseason. Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Dak, Stafford, Herbert, Love, Stroud, Goff, Purdy, Hurts. Hugh, what do you got?
It's funny. Our list is somewhat similar, save the position that you have some of the players in and some of them OGs that you have on the list. Matt Stafford did not make my list. No disrespect to Matt Stafford, but he's an OG in my mind. Justin Herbert, you talk about a guy who there has been a lot of aspirations and hopes that he would be in that list of elite quarterbacks. He's not. I know he has a talent, but he hasn't been able to master it in the last couple of years. I went with the young guys, and I also kept it to this year and how I felt the quarterbacks played this year. So, number 1, obviously, I got Patrick Mahomes.
That's easy.
Number 2, Lamar Jackson. I got Josh Allen at number 3. Jordan Love for the playoffs that, I don't get to see a whole lot of Green Bay games, but that playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys really stuck out.
He tore them apart.
He dismantled them. So I had Jordan Love at number 4. Joe Burrow at number 5. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Joe Burrow for what he's been able to do. His body of work has proven that he's still a top 5 quarterback, even though he was hurt. And I did this begrudgingly, man. But I try to be fair and balanced. I do not want to be Chris Sims on this program. So I tried to be, as fair as I possibly can. So I put Dak Prescott at number 6.
All right, I think that's fair. Yeah.
C.J. Stroud, when you talk about the history of Ohio State quarterbacks and the bad rap that they've gotten, And to have a coach like DeMeco Ryans and what they were able to do this year, I had to get a young man his props. Tua Tagovailoa. I put him at number 8 because early this year, they looked like the team to beat. And I know I put it out there that they weren't going to make the playoff, but they did. They froze in the playoffs, though.
Well, I mean, literally.
They literally froze in the playoffs. I only went to number 10 on my list. So, number 9, my number 9 quarterback is Brock Purdy for obvious reasons. And number 10 is my man Jalen Hurts. He's number 10.
All right, so you have him 10. I have him 12. We both have Purdy one spot over Hurts.
Yes.
You have Love very high up the list at number 4. Tua was like right after Hurts. Like I think Tua is better than some people think. People just make believe he's not good at all. He's better than I thought he'd be in the NFL. He's a solid quarterback. I had him third. If I kept going, Tua would probably be next.